Have you ever found yourself wondering if your deepest thoughts and feelings might actually be the architects of your entire reality?
Hmm.
What if there were ancient yet profoundly practical techniques that could help you manifest your most profound desires? From vibrant health to a dream home, or even, dare I say, an unexpected windfall.
It's more than just a compelling thought, isn't it? It's really a foundational principle you see explored across various wisdom traditions.
Right.
This idea that our inner landscape isn't just passively reflecting the world, but it's an active participant in shaping it, like a blueprint, an energetic one.
That's the crux of it, isn't it? This notion that our inner landscape isn't just a mirror, but an engine for reality. And today, we're really going to dig into the fascinating world of creative visualization and the law of attraction.
Yeah, let's get into it.
We're going to unpack how your inner world can actively, undeniably shape your outer circumstances, offering you, hopefully, a shortcut to being well informed about these powerful concepts.
And our sources for this deep dive are truly foundational, I think. They offer both, philosophical depth and really practical application.
Mm-hmm.
We're drawing significant insights from Denning and Phillips' classic,
Mm-hmm.
Practical Guide to Creative Visualization, which is a text that really grounds these ideas in a very actionable way.
Very hands-on.
Exactly. Then we'll shift our focus to Denise Coates' Feel It Real, which puts a heavy, beautiful emphasis on law of attraction and the undeniable power of emotion as the true language of the universe.
Feeling it.
Feeling it. And finally, we'll explore Jeanette Maw's The Magic of Pray Rain Journaling, which brings the potent element of the written word into the manifestation equation, writing it down.
So, our mission today is clear. We're extracting the practical tools and the profound insights from these distinct yet interconnected approaches.
Right. See how they fit together.
We want to show you how they align, where they might diverge slightly in methodology, but, converge in principle. And most importantly, how you can apply them to gain knowledge quickly, experience those incredible aha moments,
Those are the best.
and truly start making things happen in your own life. Get ready to tap into some serious potential for transformation here.
Okay.
So, we mentioned Helen Keller's beautiful insight that true beauty must be felt with the heart. And that really shifts our focus to the very genesis of creation in this realm, desire itself. For
Mhm.
so long, desire has been almost demonized, hasn't it? Made to seem like something negative or greedy or inherently tied to suffering.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of cultural baggage around wanting things.
But Denise Coates, in Feel It Real, she challenges that notion directly and I think quite profoundly.
She absolutely does.
Mhm.
Coase argues that desire isn't just natural, it's fundamental. It's like an intrinsic part of the universe's very fabric.
Wow.
She sees it as the engine of creation, what keeps the universe in a constant state of expansion and unfolding. I mean, think about it. If there were no desire, no innate wanting, there'd be no impetus for evolution.
Right. No, don't push forward.
No innovation, no unfolding of new possibilities.
Mhm.
Desire, in its purest form, is this creative impulse.
So it's not really about suffering or endlessly wanting what you don't have, is it?
No, not at all.
She uses a beautiful analogy for this, comparing it to children playing with clay.
I love that one.
Their desire to create a funny animal or a miniature house isn't born from suffering or lack. It's pure, unadulterated joy in the act of creation itself. The desire is the joy.
Precisely. And this leads us to a really crucial distinction. Authentic desires versus what she calls destructive urges.
Okay, that's important.
Coates is very clear here. True desires, she explains, are those that are uplifting, wholesome, healthy, and vitally not harmful to yourself or others.
That's the key.
These are desires born of love, expansive and inclusive. They add to the world.
I love her meter for this. As long as it does not harm yourself or others to have the desire, then it is of love. It's such a simple yet profound filter, isn't it?
It really cuts through a lot of confusion.
So things like constantly trying to escape your true feelings or numbing yourself or addictive behaviors, those aren't authentic desires then. They're more like detours.
Exactly. They're often ways of avoiding deeper, sometimes uncomfortable, true feelings. And that avoidance actually prevents authentic creative desires from even being born or recognized.
You're just reacting.
These aren't desires for creation. They're often attempts to escape a current reality you don't like. And this directly connects back to Helen Keller's powerful insight, which quotes, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." This really sets the stage for the crucial central role of feeling in this entire process of attracting your desires. It's not about intellectual knowing, it's emotional knowing, feeling it in your core.
Okay, so that's where the law of attraction truly kicks in, isn't it? It's not just about wanting something intellectually or, saying the right words over and over.
No, it's far more dynamic than that. It's
Yeah.
deeply vibrational.
Mhm.
The core principle, like attracts like, sounds disarmingly simple on the surface, doesn't it?
Yeah, you are a living magnet.
Right. What you attract into your life is in harmony with your dominant thoughts. But the real question, especially for people familiar with this, is why is it so incredibly challenging to consistently apply this,
True.
especially when our external reality seems to contradict our deepest desires? The challenge lies in understanding that thoughts here aren't just fleeting ideas, they're energetic signals.
And Coates takes it a step further than just thoughts. She really emphasizes that it's thoughts plus emotions that create what she calls emotional thought.
Yes, emotional thought.
And this emotional thought is what really speeds up the delivery of your desires. It's about feeling good, genuinely raising your vibrational frequency, and attracting circumstances that match that high energy state.
Joy begets joy. It isn't just a catchy phrase for her. It's like a statement of vibrational causality. It's physics, almost.
It makes sense. So the critical concept from Coates, the real linchpin of her approach, is feel it first.
That's the one. Feel it first.
This isn't just a mental exercise. It's a revolutionary act, really. Emotional pre-paving.
Absolutely. You have to generate and genuinely feel the emotions of already having your desire before it shows up in the physical world.
Before.
Mona.
After.
Right. This emotional pre-paving, as you call it, sends the vibrational signal out to the universe. So say you want a new job. Instead of constantly thinking, I need a job, which just signals lack,
Yeah, reinforces the need.
you spend time feeling the relief, the excitement, the satisfaction of already having that perfect position. Maybe you feel the joy of signing the offer letter or telling your family the good news.
Ah, okay.
That emotional state becomes the magnetic pull, not just the intellectual desire for the job.
And she has this fantastic metaphor for understanding the universe's language, which she calls vibrationese.
Vibrationese, I love that.
Imagine the universe as a magic genie who only understands emotional vibrations, not our spoken words or complex thoughts.
Right. It doesn't speak English or Spanish or whatever. It speaks feeling.
So if you stand there saying, I want $1 million, but deep down you feel poor or desperate or you just don't believe it's possible.
The genie just hears poor.
Exactly. And delivers more situations that make you feel poor. It's not about the words. It's about the dominant feeling you're emitting, the energetic signature you're broadcasting.
That's why aligning your feelings with your desires is absolutely non-negotiable. It forces us to confront the fact that our emotional broadcast is continuous, right?
Always on.
And the universe is always relentlessly responding to it, whether we're consciously aware of it or not.
Which is huge because our constructed reality often works against us here, doesn't it? We tend to let external circumstances dictate our feelings.
We really do. Our bank balance often determines our feeling of wealth or poverty, or the news cycle determines our perception of the world's state. We react to what we see.
Instead of creating from what we feel.
Precisely. And that external focus can trap us in a cycle of continually attracting more of what we don't want simply because we're emotionally reacting to it all the time.
And Coates has such a brilliant, simple game for this called More Please.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She suggests deliberately and consciously focusing only on the parts of your current reality that you truly like and want to continue attracting. It's an act of selective focus.
A conscious decision to appreciate and amplify the positive that's already there.
So like if you love your morning coffee, instead of just drinking it mindlessly, you focus intensely on the aroma, the warmth, the perfect taste, and you think, more of this delightful experience, please.
You're intentionally sending out that powerful more please signal to the universe. You're training yourself to find and appreciate the good, and so you attract more of it. It's simple, but effective.
This leads to another idea that can feel a bit counterintuitive at first. Opposites create desires.
Right. This often challenges our conventional thinking. Negative conditions like poverty, sickness, loneliness, or fear are, in a strange but profound way, absolutely essential.
Essential? How so?
They provide the contrast. They allow us to clarify and summon the desire for their opposites: wealth, health, connection, safety. Without knowing what you don't want, it's harder to know what you do want with real clarity.
So instead of lamenting these challenging experiences, we can actually, maybe surprisingly, celebrate them for giving us that clarity on what we truly desire.
It's a radical shift, but yes, it's like her opposite game understanding that without the cold, we wouldn't truly appreciate, define, or even strongly desire the hot.
Yeah.
The contrast clarifies our desires, allowing us to launch new, more refined requests or vibrations to the universe. It's an invitation to see every unwanted experience as a signpost pointing you directly towards your true desires. Oh, I really don't like this, so I must really want that.
That reframes challenges in a powerful way. So Coates paints this incredible picture of desire and emotional alignment as the core. But how do we actually do it? How do we translate those feelings into a tangible mental blueprint?
Okay, yeah, the how-to.
This is where Denning and Phillips step in with their practical guide to creative visualization, giving us the precise tools to harness that inner power. What exactly is creative visualization in their practical sense?
Well, at its core, creative visualization is a pretty sophisticated technique for mobilizing your inner resources for success.
Okay.
They describe it as giving precise, vivid instructions to an inner computer or programmer, which we can understand as your subconscious mind, right? The powerful part of you that orchestrates bodily functions, habits.
The autopilot.
Exactly. And perhaps even more fascinating, they say it's about opening channels from a broader universal intelligence, almost like tapping into an infinite supply of universal energy.
Bringing you the wealth of the universe in every sense, not just money.
Precisely. Tapping into an infinite supply of universal energy. That definitely sparks the imagination, doesn't it? Opens up huge possibility.
And the scope of it is really broad. They talk about applying it to everything from quitting smoking to finding inner peace to losing weight or even attracting a better job or traveling.
It's truly a versatile tool for almost any desire you can conceive of. But for it to be really effective and for the manifestations to be lasting, Denning and Phillips emphasize understanding what they call the true source of plenty. The true source.
Okay.
This involves recognizing 4 levels of existence: the divine, the mental, the astral, and the material. Our higher self, our spiritual nature, is essentially divine, connected to that universal source.
It's like a spark of it.
Yeah. The idea is that desire is conceived on the divine level, shaped mentally, energized astrally, that's through emotions, and finally manifests on the material plane.
So the divine power channels down through these levels to appear in the material world.
That's the model, yeah.
And this brings up a crucial point about the ethics of creative visualization, doesn't it? They stress avoiding hidden guilt feelings when you ask for what you desire.
Absolutely. This is a profound ethical consideration. The higher self, that divine spark within us, loves and gives unconditionally.
Right.
Any sense of guilt or unworthiness, often stemming from our lower self or maybe a conditioned conscience, can inhibit this natural flow of abundance.
So if you want wealth, but deep down you feel greedy or unworthy?
That hidden guilt acts as a powerful energetic block. It prevents the manifestation. They even reference New Testament teachings, where people are explicitly invited to state what they desire and reminded that the Father knows what you need before you ask.
Interesting.
This suggests that clear, confident asking without anxiety or internal conflict is key. It's about aligning your conscious desire with your subconscious belief and your spiritual understanding of inherent worthiness. You have to feel okay receiving it.
That's powerful. Internal resistance can be just as strong a block as external obstacles. Believing in the universe's abundance, and you're right to it. Okay, let's talk techniques. The visualization point sounds wonderfully practical. How does that work?
It is very practical, almost tactile. It's designed to make your mental pictures feel more solid, more accessible. You close your eyes, relax,
Okay.
and then you raise a finger to your forehead. You try to touch the middle of your mental picture, the scene or object you're visualizing, and you'll find your fingertip naturally makes contact with your forehead, just above and between your eyebrows.
Yeah.
Press your fingertip there quite hard for about 30 seconds.
Press it.
Yeah. This simple act helps you to place the mental picture more easily, making the visualization more convincing and effective. It's like you're physically imprinting it into your mind, a physical anchor for an internal process.
So it's not about seeing with your physical eyes, but really seeing with your mind, like an internal screen.
Exactly. Accessing that internal screen. And they highlight 3 core qualities needed for simple, effective visualization: resolution, concentration, and patience.
Ah, yes, the big 3: resolution, concentration, patience.
Yes. And these qualities are often seen as failing as people get older, or when they feel discouraged. But Denning and Phillips argue it's more about unconscious reluctance, or maybe a lack of deep emotional investment. When your emotional nature truly grasps the life-giving purpose, the deep advantage of the new thing, when you feel how good it would be to have that new job or perfect health, then these qualities, resolution, concentration, patience, they naturally return.
So the emotion fuels the focus.
Right. It connects the rational mind's understanding with the emotional nature's desire. They emphasize you must feel in imagination the sensation of possessing them. Not just think about it, but emotionally experience it as already real.
And for those who struggle with visualizing, which, let's be honest, can be tricky sometimes,
It really can be.
they offer some wonderfully helpful, almost tactile tips, like practicing in the darkest place you can find.
Yeah, or gently cupping your hands over your eyes to block out all light. They also suggest using a plain black surface like velvet to see the visualized shape in white, or even seeing the image momentarily against a real-world background, just for a flash, to help you realize the inwardness of it.
It's a mental act, not an optical illusion.
Exactly. But these tools can kickstart the process. It's about developing a knack through consistent, gentle practice, not forcing it. And once you begin, or even before, the creative plan of relaxation becomes this invaluable prelude.
Relaxation first. Why is that so important?
Well, tension, they explain, is a natural prelude to action, right? But it should optimally end when the action is performed. Prolonged tension, however, that's a persistent sign of fear or frustration, and it actively blocks your creative flow.
Okay, so the purpose of this relaxation is to counteract that prolonged tension and prepare the mind for receiving and creating.
Precisely. And it's a systematic, deep process. It goes beyond just muscle relaxation.
How so?
You systematically relax each body part, toes to scalp, consciously releasing tension, but then you take it deeper into what they call well-wishing.
Well-wishing.
Yeah, you direct well-wishing thoughts, literally sending feelings of peace and health to your internal organs, your liver, stomach, heart, lungs, and so on. The deep psychological truth here, they state, is that we can only truly know that which we love, and we can only truly love that which we know. So it's about forming an intimate, loving connection with your own body systems, bringing them into harmony.
Creating internal peace for an optimal energetic state.
Exactly. And rhythmic breathing is a huge part of that. They call it an ally for life.
Why is the breath so vital here?
It's absolutely vital. Rhythmic breathing, slow, deep, consistent breaths, helps give form and force to your visualization practices. It acts as a bridge, linking the astral, the emotional, energetic level, and the material levels.
Connecting the levels.
By consciously controlling your breath, you control your vital energy. You create a steady, powerful current that can literally carry your mental images and emotional desires into manifestation. It's an immediate way to connect with your inner rhythm and bring coherence to your energy, especially when you feel scattered or anxious.
That's a great overview of the foundation. And Denning and Phillips also mention some more advanced techniques later in their book, right? Like the multiplication technique, the charging technique, the star technique.
They do, yeah. These sound intriguing.
They sound like powerful ways to really amplify your manifesting power, building on these foundational practices. How do they relate?
They absolutely build on these fundamentals. The multiplication technique, for instance, helps you expand what you already have by vividly visualizing it growing and multiplying. More of the good stuff.
Okay.
The charging technique is about imbuing an object or even a space with your desired energy, like charging a crystal, but maybe your office or wallet.
Interesting.
And the star technique is a more complex method for radiating your desired outcome outward into the universe, like broadcasting it more powerfully. They all require that strong foundation of relaxation, concentration, and emotional feeling we've just discussed.
Yeah.
They're basically taking these core principles to a more refined, more powerful level of application.
Moving beyond simple visualization to actively directing and amplifying these universal forces. Okay. Now, let's shift gears slightly to Denise Coates' approach, which she beautifully titles Feel It Real. One thing that immediately stands out is her concept of calling these techniques games. Why does she do that?
Yeah, it's quite a deliberate choice, isn't it? Coates intentionally frames her techniques as games to encourage a relaxed, fun approach, not a rigid, high-stakes exercise.
It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. She believes this immediately softens resistance, both conscious and subconscious, and makes the playing far more effective. When you approach something playfully, you naturally lower stress, release attachment to the outcome, and allow for a more expansive creative flow.
Makes sense.
The underlying philosophy is simple. It works if you work it, but the work should feel like play. When you're relaxed and enjoying the process, you naturally raise your vibrational frequency without even trying so hard.
So it's about effortlessly raising your frequency to match your desires and then experiencing those green lights and open doors and seemingly miraculous synchronicities. That's the payoff.
That's the payoff for feeling it real, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about tuning into a different emotional station, becoming a vibrational match to what you want. And she provides a wonderful variety of games to help you do just that. They're designed to engage your emotions and imagination in a way that feels natural and enjoyable.
Okay, let's dive into some of these key feel it real games. Game 2, Find the Feeling Place, sounds pretty fundamental, like the anchor for everything else.
It truly is. This game prioritizes getting into the emotions you will have when your desire is fulfilled. It's a 24-hour commitment, she says, or at least a sustained effort throughout your day to feel that specific vibration.
So not just for 5 minutes during meditation.
Right, if your current emotions are negative, maybe you're feeling doubt or frustration. She advises pausing all active attempts toward the desire and focusing solely on shifting your emotional state. Use visualization, appreciation, other games, whatever works.
Get the feeling right first.
The goal is emotional familiarity with the vibration of already having your desire, so you can then effortlessly attract it. If you want that new home, spend time feeling the coziness of the living room, the joy of cooking in the kitchen, the peace of sleeping in your new bedroom. Let that feeling permeate your being.
And what about the celebrity vibe game, Game 4? That sounds intriguing.
It's playful, but quite powerful for aligning your vibration. You choose a public figure, a celebrity, who visibly embodies the essence of your desire.
Okay.
For instance, if you desire great fun and wealth, maybe you imagine someone like Paul McCartney, as she suggests. Then, for about a minute, you imagine yourself vibrating at their frequency.
How do you do that?
You don't need to know them personally. It's about the vibe they project. Is it their confidence, their joy, their easy abundance? You try to embody that feeling. You become like a radio, emitting that specific vibrational note, retraining your own energetic field by mimicking the feeling of someone who already has what you desire.
So if you want success in a certain field, you pick someone at the top and just vibrate like them. That's quite a mental exercise.
It is. But it can quickly shift your state. Then there's Game 5. What beliefs would you have? Which sounds like it gets right to the core of our inner programming.
Beliefs, yeah. Huge.
It really does. This game asks you to imagine the beliefs you would have if your desire were already fulfilled. For example, if you found true love, your beliefs might shift from "love is hard to find" to "I am so lovable" or "I believe in happily ever after."
Okay, reverse engineering the belief.
Exactly. It's about identifying any negative, limiting beliefs that might be holding you back, often deeply ingrained and subconscious, and consciously reversing them into empowering, positive ones. The belief that if you can believe all things are possible is central here. You're actively constructing the internal belief system that supports your desired reality.
That's a huge one, identifying those limiting beliefs. They can be sneaky. And for abundance, she has the multimillionaire spending game, Game 11. That's a classic, isn't it?
Absolutely. A lot of people know this one. This game forces you to dream exponentially bigger than your current circumstances might allow. You spend millions daily entirely in your imagination. You might imagine buying a, $29 million beach estate, or that limited edition sports car, or funding a massive charity project. The goal isn't just about the numbers. It's about expanding your imagination, breaking through scarcity mindsets,
Stretching your comfort zone with wealth.
and reprogramming your vibration toward an overflow of abundance. You play until you genuinely feel tired from all the spending because of the sheer volume and effort of managing all that imaginary wealth.
Tired from spending millions.
It's about convincing your subconscious that abundance is your new normal. Overflowing abundance.
That sounds like so much fun and deeply liberating to think that big. And then there's the I have it now list, Game 12. How does that work?
This one is about appreciation and building faith. You create a list of past desires that are now a reality. Things like your car, your house, maybe even something simple like getting that specific Starbucks latte you wanted or a favorite book you acquired.
Things you already manifested.
Exactly. Then you appreciate 5 things about each of those fulfilled desires, really savoring the feeling of satisfaction. This practice gets you into the perfect mix of desire and receiving, training your vibration to be comfortable with allowing desires in and recognizing how consistently the universe has already delivered to you. build faith.
Recognizing your past successes, I like that, and not limiting your desires is crucial, which leads to game 13, money is no object.
Yeah, because so often we unconsciously limit our dreams based on perceived financial constraints.
Totally, I can't afford that.
This game explicitly encourages you to dream without any financial limits. You ask yourself, if money were no object, what would I do? What would I have? Where would I go? You let your imagination run wild.
Free reign.
The universe, Coates emphasizes, has infinite means to bring your dreams to you. If you simply allow yourself to live from the feeling of the dream already fulfilled, unencumbered by the how, it's about removing your own self-imposed financial ceiling. Stop telling the universe how it has to happen.
She also has very specific games for body transformation, which is a big area for many people. Like
Yeah.
20 beliefs about your ideal body, the sculpture game, and body imaging game.
Yes, these are beautifully tailored to physical desires. 20 beliefs about your ideal body helps you align your mental framework with your physical goals, actively replacing limiting thoughts about your body with empowering ones.
Getting the mind on board.
The sculpture game is incredibly tactile and sensory. You vividly imagine standing before a perfect sculpture of your ideal body. Then, you physically or imaginatively touch it. Run your hands over the smooth curve of the bicep, the tautness of the abdomen, the strength in the legs.
Really feeling it.
You focus on the sensations, evoking a real emotional response. To truly feel the details of your desired physique as if it were already real and tangible. And body imaging game, well, that involves cutting out your face and pasting it onto images of ideal bodies from magazines, placing them where you see them daily.
Ah, the classic vision board technique applied to the body.
Exactly. To literally visualize yourself in that dream body, making it feel familiar to your subconscious.
And for career success, another major focus area, there's the thespian game, game 23.
Yes, this is about embodying the role. You literally play the role of a person who has already achieved total career success.
Acting as if.
Completely. If you were to be a best-selling author, for example, you don't just think about it. You embody that role throughout your day. How would they walk, talk, respond to challenges? You breathe life into the character, acting as if your dream has already come true, internalizing those feelings of accomplishment, confidence, and fulfillment.
It's all about embodying that future self now, in the present, to draw it towards you. And there are daily check-in games too, like Hotter or Colder, game 48. That sounds like an internal barometer.
It is, and it's a fantastic daily monitoring tool for your vibrational state. You ask yourself throughout the day if your emotional state is hotter, meaning a pleasant emotion, indicating alignment with your desires, or colder, meaning an unpleasant emotion, indicating you're not aligned.
Simple check-in.
It helps you continuously monitor your vibrational state, developing a highly tuned inner guidance system that signals whether you're moving towards or away from your desires. Trains your awareness, makes you more mindful of your feelings.
And sometimes you just need to shift your vibe quickly, especially if you find yourself in a colder state. Game 50, the laughing game, sounds like it does just that.
It's so simple but incredibly effective and often overlooked. You literally induce laughter by saying haha out loud until genuine laughter bubbles up and takes over.
Just force it till you make it.
Pretty much. This physically and emotionally instantly raises your vibration. It often breaks through negative feelings or that tendency we have to take ourselves too seriously. Laughter is a powerful physiological and emotional state, inherently high vibration. It's a quick tool to course correct.
I might try that later. To truly embody the feeling, she also has game 52, dressing the part.
This is powerful, though sometimes subtle. You imagine how you, with your desire fulfilled, say, as that millionaire philanthropist would dress. Then you find ways to dress that way more often in your current life.
Doesn't mean breaking the bank, though.
No, not at all. It might mean choosing higher quality fabrics when you can, or just dressing with more intention and confidence. Maybe ironing your shirt. It helps you embody and feel abundant, reinforcing the vibrational signal to yourself and the universe, acting as if.
Then there's a really interesting one. Game 53, talk to strangers. This seems to go against the traditional advice of keeping your manifestations secret.
It does, doesn't it? But there's a very specific, clever nuance here. The idea is you tell strangers, like a telemarketer or a gas station attendant in another town, someone you don't have a close relationship with, the great news of your fulfilled desires, as if they are already real.
Okay, not telling them your process.
Exactly. You might say, oh, I'm just on my way home to my beautiful new beachfront condo, or I'm so excited about my new best-selling book that just hit the charts. This role-playing adds energetic momentum and a sense of tangible reality to your dream.
Creates a stronger signal.
Right. And it does it without inviting judgment or skepticism from people closer to you who might inadvertently inject doubt into your energy field.
That's a clever way to add energy without risking skepticism. And finally, Game 55, Vibrational Library Card.
This involves recalling powerful memories of past abundance, success, or positive experiences to evoke those feelings in the present, like checking out a feeling from your past. So if you want to feel wealthy, you'd recall a time when money flowed easily, maybe an unexpected bonus, or a worry-free vacation. You vividly relive the feeling of being carefree, secure, abundant, activating those neural pathways.
You can use it for any state, love, health.
Absolutely. If you want to feel loved, recall a time you felt deeply loved and cherished, and pull that feeling into the now. Use your memory bank.
So throughout all these games, whether it's feeling it first, dressing the part, or talking to strangers, the emphasis on emotions is absolutely paramount. Coates constantly reiterates that emotions are your guidance system.
They are, quite literally, your internal compass and feedback loop. They signal alignment or misalignment with your desires. Feeling good? You're on track. Feeling bad? You're off track.
Simple as that.
Well, simple concept requires practice.
Yeah.
Suppressing emotions, as she points out, leads to dissonance, that internal misalignment between what you're truly feeling and what you're trying to project. And this dissonance can even cause mental and physical illness over time.
Right.
Her approach teaches that by allowing yourself to acknowledge and gently shift from negative to positive emotions, you can consciously guide yourself toward happier thoughts and, in turn, more desirable circumstances. It's about becoming a master of your own emotional state and, therefore, your vibrational output.
Okay, moving on to another incredibly powerful manifestation technique. Let's explore Jeanette Maw's Magic of Pray Rain journaling, which leverages the written word. This all starts with the profound concept of praying rain, doesn't it?
Yes, and it's such a fantastic origin story, often recounted by Greg Braden. He tells the anecdote of David, a Native American rainmaker.
Right.
When his community desperately needed rain, David didn't pray for rain. That's the crucial distinction.
Not for it.
No. Instead, he would go out and pray rain. He'd walk the dry land, feeling the phantom sensation of rain on his arms, smelling the damp earth in the air, tasting the moisture on his tongue, imagining the shoulder-high corn growing because of the downpour.
Wow, total sensory immersion.
He felt rain as if it were already happening, fully immersed in the sensory and emotional reality of it. And, as the story goes, it would indeed rain, often flooding, apparently, confirming the power of that complete emotional pre-paving.
That's such a vivid distinction. So the key takeaway is that praying for something actually acknowledges and perpetuates its absence.
Exactly. By praying for it, you unintentionally empower the condition of lack. You're focused on what's missing.
But feeling it now or praying rain puts you in vibrational alignment with the presence of your desire. We get what we vibrate.
Precisely. Your internal state is the ultimate magnet. If you ask for something and simultaneously feel its absence, you'll only attract more absence. Your words might say, I want abundance. But if your feelings scream, I am struggling and broke, the universe responds to the dominant feeling.
The trick is to feel, be, and experience what you want now.
Right now. Put yourself in alignment with it. You can be in a physical drought, yet feel the rain. Diagnosed with sickness, yet feel vibrant health. In financial distress, yet feel the relief and joy of abundance flowing freely. It's a radical shift from asking for it to being it.
So how do you actually practice pray rain journaling? What are the mechanics of translating this into a daily written practice?
The mechanics are pretty straightforward, actually, but the internal shift it requires is profound. You write daily entries about what you want as if you already have it.
Present tense.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a wish list. It's a statement of current reality written in vivid detail. The core purpose is to activate that desired vibe and get into the feeling place of having your desire fulfilled right now.
Making the future present through words and emotions.
Exactly. So instead of I want to be debt-free, you might write, I am so relieved and overjoyed that my credit cards are paid off, and I have thousands in savings. I love this feeling of financial freedom. Feel the relief as you write.
And she has some great practical tips for getting started, right? Like using a magic pen or naming your journal something specific, like get paid to write or attract the one.
Yeah, those small rituals can really contribute. They help set the tone and add a layer of sacred personal intention to the process. The magic pen makes the act feel special, distinguishing it from just mundane writing. Naming your journal reinforces your specific intention every time you pick it up. She notes that entries can be incredibly short. even just one word or a phrase, if it genuinely creates the desired feeling.
So length doesn't matter as much as feeling.
The feeling is always paramount.
Yeah.
And it's crucial not to worry if minor details change between entries. It's the feelings that count. The consistent emotional state, the underlying vibration, is what truly matters, not getting the literal script perfect every time.
That's a huge relief, especially for perfectionists. But she also has a critical feel-good meter, doesn't she? What if you're writing but you're just not feeling it? You don't feel better.
She's very direct about this. If you don't feel better while writing, you're effectively wasting your time.
Harsh but fair.
Yeah. The words themselves aren't magic. Your vibration, that emotional signature you're broadcasting, is what calls forth what happens next. If you're not shifting your vibe, she suggests 3 things to troubleshoot.
Okay.
First, try a different technique. Maybe one of Coates' games resonates more that day. Second, check if the desire is truly authentic for you, or if there's a limiting thought blocking the feeling. Are you truly desiring it, or is it a should? Is there a subconscious belief like, I don't deserve this?
Digging deeper.
And third, and this is huge, eliminate any tolerations in your life that are actively draining your energy and creating a contrary low vibration.
Ah, the tolerations again. And she shares success stories, right? Like Kelly's book deal or Isabel's financial windfalls.
Those examples powerfully reinforce the technique's effectiveness. They show the real-world impact of consistent inner work. Kelly manifested a book deal by diligently journaling about her imaginary one as if it were already real, capturing all the feelings of signing the contract, seeing the book published.
Feeling the success.
And Isabel attracted 2 huge financial windfalls, unexpected inheritances, investment returns, by consistently writing about money flowing into her life with ease and joy. It clearly shows that consistent inner work focused on genuine feeling truly translates to outer results, sometimes in unexpected ways.
To really amp up your journal power, she talks about eliminating tolerations. What exactly does that mean again, and why is it so critical for manifesting?
Tolerations are insidious, really. They're those nagging things you just put up with that bother you, drain your energy, or create a constant low-level irritation.
Like a squeaky door or a messy desk.
Or a hated commute, or frustrating friendships that leave you feeling depleted. What many don't realize is that these aren't just minor annoyances. They're actively broadcasting a negative vibrational signal.
Energetic static.
Exactly. They create static that can drown out your desires or make it much harder for you to align with positive feelings. Identifying them and then getting them handled becomes as crucial as adding positive practices.
So you have to take action on them.
Yes, sometimes handling one pivotal toleration, like finally dealing with that difficult relationship or quitting a job you hate, can eliminate several others simultaneously. Managing your energy is paramount. And if something absolutely cannot be changed,
Then what?
the practice is to make peace with it, meaning shift your internal feeling about it so it no longer drains your energy. Acceptance, not resignation.
So it's not just about adding positive practices, but also actively removing the negative drains, clearing the channel.
Yeah.
And prioritizing feel-goods is the other side of that coin, right?
Exactly. When you understand how utterly crucial your positive feeling is to manifesting, you consciously incorporate more enjoyable activities into your daily life.
It's not selfish, it's strategic.
It's a vital strategic move for successful manifesting. It's about making enjoyment and high-vibration activities a higher priority, consciously shifting away from a life dictated by shoulds and supposed-tos to one filled with wants and love-tos. When you're consistently feeling good, you're naturally broadcasting the right signal for your desires to arrive. It's about raising your energetic baseline, making feeling good your default setting.
So we've explored desire and emotional alignment with Denise Coates, the practical visualization blueprint with Denning and Phillips, and the anchoring power of writing with Jeanette Ma. It feels like there are some powerful unifying principles weaving through all of these, aren't there?
Absolutely. Across all these sources, despite different terms and methods, there's a consistent pointing towards a higher intelligent source of creation.
A common thread.
Whether it's called universal law, the spiritual self, the divine flame, source energy, God, the core message is that we are spiritual beings deeply connected to an immense benevolent power that is inherently abundant.
And this higher self, or source, is universally characterized by unconditional love and giving, right? Denning and Phillips really emphasize that hoarding money, talent, knowledge, life force puts you out of circulation.
Yes, they quote John Wesley, "Get all you can, give all you can." The idea is that just as blood must circulate freely in the body for health, so must life force and abundance circulate in your life for continued flow.
Keep it moving.
If you hoard, you metaphorically cut yourself off from the current, creating stagnation. It's about prudent use, wise management, and maintaining the flow, understanding that true abundance isn't just receiving, but also giving freely and joyfully. That giving creates a vacuum for more to come in.
This naturally leads us to beliefs and expectations. They seem to be the critical filters through which all desires must pass. They dictate what we even allow ourselves to receive.
They truly are the gatekeepers. As Coates states, believing is seeing. Your deeply held beliefs, often formed in childhood or through repeated experiences, largely determine what you perceive as possible and therefore what you attract.
So lack of faith blocks desires.
Directly and powerfully. Limiting beliefs like I'm not good enough or money is hard to come by will block manifestation, even if you're doing all the techniques perfectly. It's not enough to simply desire. You must truly believe it's possible for you.
And expectation is such a powerful, active tool here, isn't it? The source on lottery winners emphasized that every law of attraction lottery winner has successfully used the power of expectation.
Yes, it's not just a fleeting pepperilly feeling or wishful thinking. It's a deep, confident inner confidence that your desire is on its way, an almost palpable knowing.
How do you cultivate that?
Through consistent practice of visualization, affirmations, feeling-based exercises like Coates games, the key is identifying and painstakingly reversing any negative beliefs into empowering ones.
It's a process.
It's not a one-time fix. It's consistent practice to make new, empowering beliefs habitual, overriding the old programming. You might start by saying, I am open to receiving abundance, even if you don't fully believe it yet, and then work to expand that belief through repeated feeling and evidence gathering.
Okay, so it's not just inner work, though. What about outer action? You still need to, physically do things? Or does it all just magically appear?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a common misconception, isn't it? That
Yeah.
you just sit on the couch and visualize.
Right. Pizza appears at the door.
Creative visualization and LOA are about taking care of the factors you cannot control. The energetic alignment, the timing, the how. But suitable actions in the material world must still be done.
Okay.
The universe will often inspire you with aligned actions or open doors to opportunities, but you still need to walk through them. You still need to study for the degree, diet and exercise for weight loss, update your resume, network for the job.
Got it. It's a partnership.
Exactly. The inner work prepares the field and calls forth the opportunities, but you still need to plant the seeds and nurture them with outer action. Inner world meets outer world.
And a crucial part of this, emphasized by Ma especially, is releasing attachment to the outcome once you've done the inner work. This can be really challenging.
Oh, it's very advanced, but absolutely essential. Non-attachment. Do the inner work, cultivate the feeling, and then leave the details and the how to the universe.
Let go.
Once you've put in the vibrational effort, you release the desperate clinging, the rigid attachment to how it will manifest, when it will manifest, or even exactly what it will look like.
Trust the process.
Making peace with what is and trusting the universal flow allows the manifestation to unfold naturally, often in ways better than you could have imagined. Clinging out of fear or impatience actually signals lack and can push the desire away.
This brings up that interesting point about sharing your practices. Some sources, like Ma and lottery books, strongly advocate keeping manifestation practices secret or sacred. Why?
Yeah, they argue it's to avoid dissipating the spiritual energy, especially from skeptical onlookers or negative opinions. To preserve the integrity of the operation and your own self-respect, particularly when you're starting out and your faith isn't rock solid yet.
Protect the seed.
Exactly. Negative opinions or doubts, even well-meaning ones, can create internal resistance and dilute your focused energy. Your dreams are delicate and need protection from harsh judgment until they've sprouted.
But then Coates offers the talk to strangers game, telling strangers about fulfilled desires. How do we reconcile these?
It's a fantastic point, and it's all about nuance and how you share. With Talk to Strangers, you're not revealing your process. You're playfully and confidently acting as if the desire is already fulfilled.
Ah, the distinction again.
You're sharing in a way that adds energy to the dream without inviting judgment from those close to you who might inject doubt. You're role-playing a fulfilled reality, which is different from sharing the vulnerable process with someone who might undermine your belief. It's about choosing your audience and context strategically.
Okay, that makes sense. So consistency and persistence are clearly fundamental across all these methods, not a one-time wish.
Non-negotiable. And perhaps the most common reason people don't see results. As one source puts it, the universal law is not a stagnant power, but a force that is set in motion through committed daily action.
Gotta show up daily.
Many get stuck by just reading about it, not consistently practicing. Denning-Phillips powerfully state, drops of water will wear away rock. Consistent, persistent effort overcomes inertia. It's the daily commitment to aligning thoughts, feelings, actions that shifts your dominant vibration and ultimately your reality, building new energetic habits.
What about addressing pain and challenges when they arise? It's not always rainbows and unicorns, right? Like physical pain.
Yeah.
How do these sources advise handling that?
Extremely important point.
Mm.
You don't deny pain or discomfort. That's not helpful. Instead, you accept it for what it is in the moment, but then you gently yet firmly shift your attention and energetic focus.
You acknowledge, then redirect.
Yes. Visualize the affected area as healed, soothed, relaxed, while maintaining that rhythmic breathing to keep energy flowing. Your deep mind, the subconscious or lower self, needs guidance from your rational mind. Don't let it wallow or confuse discomfort with your higher self. Guide your internal systems toward healing rather than resisting the pain.
And memory issues, something many of us face. Can visualization help there too?
Absolutely. Often memory issues stem from fragmented focus, thinking of one thing while doing another, or just not engaging deeply. To improve memory using these principles, you endow facts with meaning. You live the subject in your imagination.
Make it real internally.
Yeah. If you're preparing a speech, don't just memorize words. Visualize the occasion, feel successful delivering it, live through the topics in your mind, feel the impact of your words. This gives your memory fiber, makes information sticky through emotional and imaginative engagement.
And finally, what about addictive habits? Smoking, overeating, deeply ingrained patterns.
For those, it's a systematic, compassionate approach focused on shifting your internal preference. First, identify incentives for the habit. What's the emotional payoff? And crucially, the incentives for not having it. What does life look like without it? Feel that.
Compare the feelings.
Then introduce simple emotive statements during relaxation sessions, feeding them in small, emotionally flavored doses. For smoking, maybe visualize breathing deeply, feeling energized, enjoying clean air.
What if the urge gets stronger?
If there's an adverse reaction, like the urge intensifies after visualizing, it might mean your emotional nature fears deprivation. You need to address that underlying fear directly, perhaps by visualizing feeling utterly content and fulfilled without the habit. The ultimate goal is for your emotional nature to genuinely prefer the new state because it feels better.
What an incredible journey into the mechanics of manifestation. We've covered how authentic desire coupled with profound emotion ignites the law of attraction with Denise Coates' Feel It Real games turning effort into play.
Yeah, making it fun.
We've delved into Denning and Phillips's practical guide to creative visualization, learning about placing mental pictures, cultivating resolution and patience, and the power of deep relaxation.
Foundational work.
And we've seen how Jeanette Ma's Pray Rain journaling harnesses the focused power of the written word to anchor those desired feelings, urging us to clear our energetic field by eliminating tolerations and prioritizing our daily feel-goods.
Writing it into reality. And through it all, we've seen those unifying principles. The connection to a universal source, the critical role of beliefs and expectations, the balance between inner work and outer action,
Right, the non-attachment.
the nuanced understanding of sharing, and the absolute necessity of consistency and persistence.
Mm.
It's not a quick fix. It's a holistic, transformative approach to consciously reshaping your reality from the inside out.
Aligning your inner world with your deepest outer desires. So here's where it gets really interesting for you, our listener. If your feelings truly are the language of the universal law and the currency for your manifestations, what is one feeling, just one, that you are willing to consistently cultivate today, right now, no matter what your external circumstances look like, to begin reshaping your reality? How will you make feeling it real your new normal, and what powerful change will that spark in your life?